If you've been to the Burlington Public Library lately, you may have noticed interesting pieces of objects made completely out of yarn. This week I went down to the Burlington Public Library to learn more about these colorful creations.
We have a group that meets at the library weekly. It's called the Good Yarn Knitting and Crochet Group. And I would say probably in December, Elaine and Nancy, two of the members, came into my office and they said that they would like to yarn bomb the library. And I was familiar with the yarn bombing. I've known what it is. I've never had it in a library that I've worked. And so I thought it was an intriguing idea. And so they asked if we could consider the idea. And so after talking with them a couple of times, I thought I took a leap of faith and thought it sounded like a great idea.
These masterpieces can be found throughout the entire library.
Just when you start entering the library, there's great yarn bombings right out front. You may not have noticed the bike rack for many years that's been out at the corner of Sears Street, but now you're certain to not be able to miss it because there is an extremely colorful child's bike that is set up there, as well as some of the posts that we have, signposts outside of the library, trees. They've yarn bombed multiple trees in the area, and so then once you come into the library, you start noticing things at the circulation desk, in the children's room, hanging over hallway entrances. We have a large Mondrian style yarn bombing that's in the picture window just by the reference desk. But there's really no space where they haven't yarn bombed. So yeah, it's great.
Yarn bombing projects have been happening for almost 2 decades.
Yarn bombing began about 20 years ago with one woman who simply wanted to brighten up the space where she was working and started with yarn, covering a handle with yarn, knitting it. And since then it's grown worldwide. I think every continent now has a yarn bombing somewhere.
These projects are not as easy as you think, ranging from 30 minutes to 100 hours.
We began last October, some of us, and work is continuing even now. So projects have taken anywhere from a half hour to over 100 hours.
Finally, if you have a chance to stop by the library, you may want to check out the amazing work of yarn bombing.
The intention is to bring people into the library, and Elaine said that repeatedly, that she thinks that the library is a wonderful resource for the town, and it's a resource that she's used as well as her family has used for many years. And she wanted to see more people enjoying the library as much as she had.
For 2 reasons. The first was to beautify the space. And second was to bring people in to see that we have a lovely library here in town. I hope they see it as a fun thing that we did, and it beautified, with a little bit of humor, the library, and that people come and see it.
From the Burlington Public Library, I'm Robert Paris for BNEWS Weekly.